Okay, Mayor, if you want to open the meeting.
Okay, thank you. We certainly want to welcome everyone to the Vinton Town Council meeting for this Tuesday evening, December 1st. As per usual, we will start with the roll call and the information that Susan has for us. If you would please, Susan.
Okay. Roll call of council. Councilmember Lyles.
Here.
Councilmember Mullins.
Here.
Councilmember Stovall.
Here.
Vice Mayor McCarty.
Here.
Mayor Gross.
Here.
We do have a quorum of council. Town staff that are present: Pete Peters, Susan Johnson, Ann Cantrell, Chief Drummond, Donna Collins, Anita McMillan, Bo Herndon, Chastity Barber, Nathan McClung, and Julie Tucci. Also present, Jeremy Carroll, our town attorney, Debbie Adams with the Benton Messenger, and Giacomo Montori. I would like to confirm that our meeting is being held in accordance with Town Ordinance number 1016 and Section 4-0.01G of Chapter 1289 of the 2020 Acts of the Virginia General Assembly, and everyone present is participating by electronic means. Mayor, the meeting is yours.
Okay, thank you, Susan, very much. And we'll start the meeting as we always do with our traditional moment of silence that we use here in Vinton so that everyone can pray as they see fit. And as always, I would ask you to keep this country, this community, and certainly the council meeting here tonight in your thoughts and prayers. I'll close that moment of silence and we will ask Council Member Keith Lyles to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would stand for those two items, please. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this community. Thank you for our country. We just pray for your protection upon it and just pray that you'll be with us tonight. In his name we pray. Keith?
All right. Thank you, Mayor. All righty. There's the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll get started with our agenda for tonight. We'll start off with the upcoming community events and announcements. Vice Mayor McCarty, please. Sabrina, we can't hear you.
I put it on mute.
There we go.
December the 3rd, which is Thursday, the Vinton Christmas tree lighting is at 6 p.m. at the municipal building, and this will be live on Facebook. So we hope that everybody can join us for that. Also on Thursday, the Lions Club Spaghetti Dinner will be at the Vinton Moose Lodge. That is from 4 until 7, and they are doing takeout, as well as I think a few people can get in the building. So please go by and get your spaghetti and support the Lions Club. I'm sure that they would appreciate it. December the 5th, the History Museum Holiday Open House will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. December the 8th, we will have a Santa Claus crawl at 6:30 p.m. in the Vinton neighborhoods. And Chastity, I'll get with you in 1 second on that. And then lastly, December the 17th, the Vinton Chamber of Commerce Holiday Open House is from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Community Center. And Chastity is going to tell us more about the Santa Claus crawl.
Hello all, thanks for letting me join tonight. As Sabrina was saying, we have come up with a Santa crawl, which I feel like we're super excited about. So I would like to give you a little direction on that. Around 6:15 or 6:20 on December 8th, we will have 3 different sections of the town taken off, I guess you should say. We're pulling out of the War Memorial around 6:15, 6:20. 6:30, we should start entering Bush Farms as the first group. Second group will be Bush Drive, Fairmont, East Cleveland, East Jackson on down. And the third group will be the Dillon Woods, Colburn, Benton Heights, Glade Town. So we've kind of put them in thanks to Public Works and PD to be able to do this and provide Santa and Mrs. Claus, I heard, might be joining on one of the routes. And we have some elves, which we are super excited about. They're going to be joining us this year. Everybody out here might recognize some of them, and some of their faces might be on the screen tonight. So we're really excited about this. And also, as she said, this Thursday, we'll be lighting the tree with the mayor and the police officer of the year at 6 o'clock, Facebook Live only due to the restrictions that we have right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or to email me or Angie at the Vinton Chamber Area Commerce.
Okay. Great. Any other announcements or community activities? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the next item. And thank you, Chastity, for that information that clarified a few things for me. Are there any requests to postpone or change the order of the agenda tonight? Hearing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. As you folks can see, there's quite a few of them tonight, so I won't go through them. I assume you've had the opportunity to look those over. And of course, we've heard presentation from Ann last week, excuse me, on the items involving the finance committee. So are there any additions or changes to the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make
So
a motion to.
I'll second it.
Okay, I think the motion was by Councilmember Lyles and the second by Councilmember Stovall. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much, folks. And now one of the highlights of the evening is our appointments. And we'll start with the appointment of our town manager. So I would like to turn it over to the vice mayor for her comments and motion.
Okay, it is a pleasure for me to be able to appoint the town manager tonight for the upcoming year, effective January the 1st of 2021. I would like to appoint Mr. Pete Peters to that position. And he has done an excellent job up to this point in filling in for the last half of the year. He has truly done a wonderful job in economic growth in our community. He has just been a pleasure to work with. He has a positive attitude and a great rapport with the citizens and the staff. And so with no further ado, it is my pleasure to appoint him as the town manager effective January the 1st, 2021.
Okay, Sabrina, thank you very much, Vice Mayor. Is there a second to that nomination?
Second.
Okay.
With
Any
pleasure.
other comments? Okay. If there are no other comments, then we will move to the vote. Susan, if you would please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes, of course. All righty, thank you very much for that. All right, our next appointment is for the police chief, and so I've asked our safety committee member, Council Member Stovall, to handle that one. If you would.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like Vice Mayor McCarty, it is my distinct pleasure to nominate tonight Chief Drummond for the position of Chief of Police for the town of Benton. And, I just want to say real quick, naturally, a lot of you know my history, my background, but I really, I got to honestly say, as far as actually sitting down with Chief Drummond and having long, extensive conversations, I really didn't have the opportunity to do that until the interview process. And when we had the opportunity to sit down in closed session and have a conversation, and I learned, I think, three things. Number one, he loves Benton, has all the citizens at heart in Benton. Number two, brings a varied background to the position that he understands and realizes how to keep those citizens safe. And number three, believes in, I think, a strong police presence in the community and community policing. And of course, I've always been in favor, if we can, at all costs, to hire from within. So once again, it is my pleasure tonight to nominate Chief Drummond for the position of Chief of Police.
All right. Thank you, sir, very much for that nomination and the remarks. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, the motion was by Councilmember Stovall. The second was by the Vice Mayor. I believe that was you, wasn't it, Sabrina?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Susan, if you would call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Council. And with that, we'll move on to our awards and recognitions tonight. And we have something very special that I think our town clerk is going to present.
Okay, let me just share my screen.
Excuse me.
So as you all know, we redid our town website. It's been, golly, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
But this award that we got, the Pinnacle Award, is given each year by the National Association of Government Web Professionals. And the Towns Award in the category of City County Small Population Group up to 50,000 residents was announced in September. I think the neat thing about the award this year is that typically the award winners are chosen by an awards committee, but due to COVID-19, the winners were through popular vote of the NAGW membership, which is made up of IT, design, and communications staff from hundreds of localities across the United States. So winning one of the 2020 awards is a resounding vote of approval by all of our web peers across the country. This award represents all of the hard work by our Civic Plus website redesign team. And I asked Julie to join us tonight. Of course, Julie has been a big part of our website, everyone knows, since the first website. And Pete and I and Barry Thompson, and of course, Brian Gladden and Chad Sweeney with Roanoke County were all on our project team to develop it. So we're kind of proud of this award and that our peers see that it is a worthwhile project. And we also have all of our departments who have staff that worked along with us with this redesign, gave us ideas and supported the project, and they continue to keep their pages updated. And I think our website is always fresh and it keeps our citizens up to date. And we're just, as a town, as a committee, just honored to receive this award. So thank you for letting us share it tonight.
All right. Well, thank you, Susan, for that information. And thank you and Julie for the hard work that you folks do with that. We appreciate it. And it does look good. I'm always impressed by our webpage and just constantly impressed by the different awards that our staff continues to win. So thank you folks for all the hard work. Julie, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I just want to say thanks to you guys for letting me have that as one of my roles with the town. I enjoy that part. I like that. And I appreciate all the people in the departments who help me keep their pages up to date. And of course, Susan's always a big help too.
All right. Sounds like another one of those team efforts, right?
That's true.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, folks, and congratulations. Very nice. Very nice. With that, we'll move on to the citizens' comments. Susan, have you received any comments for this period?
No, Mayor, no comments received.
All right. So we'll move on to the public hearing. This involves a special use permit for a proposed commercial indoor amusement use. And as always, I will open the hearing and ask for the staff report from Nathan. And with that, I will officially open the hearing. And we will receive any public comments as well as any discussion that the council has. So Nathan, the hearing is open and it's all yours, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. So you were briefed on this request on November 17th, and I wanted to give a quick update of new information since that briefing, but then also give a brief overview of the project and this request in general. The big update is that the Plan Commission had a work session and a public hearing on November 19th, and they voted unanimously to approve the petition for the special use permit with two proffered conditions. The first condition had to do with gambling devices or skill games as defined by the Virginia State Code. So this first condition attached to the ordinance is with allowing a proposed commercial indoor amusement use, this being an arcade for 700 Hardy Road, we would not allow for gambling devices or skill games to be allowed within the part of the building or any part of the building associated with the arcade use. This is to prevent it from becoming a sweepstakes cafe, internet cafe, a gambling hub. When we know that with discussion with Mr. Montori and all those at New York Pizza, him representing them, that's not what they intend this to be. They want this to be a family-based arcade use. So we wanted to include that condition in there just because of the sensitivity of those uses across the state of Virginia right now. Additionally, the second condition would be for the petitioner to also go through the change of use process. As you may know, in 2016, they had an approved site plan for an ice cream shop and coffee shop with the drive-through. But of course, that site plan and also the associated building plans were only for those intended uses. With the addition of a arcade use, the building commissioner would require to go through a change of use in order to accommodate for that new building code group that includes its entertainment uses. I'm going to share my screen real quick to show the building plans. And as you can see, this was the approved building plans in 2017. After discussions with Mr. Montori, it appears that for the use, the arcade use specifically, they were hoping to use this portion of the building for the arcade use, and you're looking at about 1,200 to 1,700 square feet. Previously, this was going to be seating area, dining area, but this would now be included with arcades and tables to be associated with the use. In terms of just the overall where it's located at and the surrounding uses, staff do find that it matches the characteristics of the intent of the general business district, and being located along the Hardy Road corridor, we find that it's pretty cohesive with all the uses surrounding it, and it matches the characteristics of the surrounding area. So beyond that, the prior use was a dry cleaner. It's currently vacant, and like I said, to the north there's residential, but there's plenty of buffer space. And there was a note in the Plan Commission meeting about parking, but the parking lot would have to be realigned to allow for the parking. It currently serves New York Pizza. And then on a final note, this arcade is not going to be a standalone arcade, is separate from the New York Pizza restaurant. It's going to be under the New York Pizza restaurant umbrella. So the intention would be for patrons to be able to eat and then go to the arcade and utilize those spaces. But that covers the staff report. So you have the ordinance in front of you with those two conditions. And also Mr. Montori is present with us here tonight if he had any additional comments or anything else that he would like to say about the intended use and petition.
Okay. Nathan, thank you very much for that staff report. Susan, have you received any public comments on this?
No, Mayor, no comments received.
All right. Council, you have any questions or discussion? All right. Hearing no questions, we will close the public hearing. And we need to consider adopting the ordinance which would allow for the special use permit as described by Nathan in his presentation. Is there a motion?
I'll move to adopt it.
All right.
I'll
Is there-
second.
All right. I think that motion was by Councilmember Lori Moth, and the second was, if I heard correctly, Vice Mayor. I believe made the
Yes.
second on that. So Susan, if you would please call the roll.
Councilmember Laws,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Council. The ordinance passes. So congratulations. We're anxious to see this open. It sounds exciting.
Well, thank you. Appreciate everybody.
You bet. Certainly
Looking
wish you all
forward to
the-
it.
Yeah,
Me too.
absolutely.
Can't wait, Giacomo. Good job.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
I think it's going to do well. Wish you success.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
And with that, we will move on to the town attorney. Jeremy, I haven't got a chance to see your tie tonight, man. What kind of tie you got on? All right.
Just a standard rep tie, sir.
You never let us down, right?
Try to do the best I can, Mr. Mayor.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you. I don't see anything listed for you tonight, but I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you, sir. Most of my stuff comes up with other folks, it seems.
Yeah, okay, great. And with that, we'll move on to the town manager section. Pete, it's all yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. I have one briefing for you this evening. This is a request of council to consider an opportunity for us to roll over some vacation accrual for our employees. And to present this information to you this evening, I've asked Donna Collins, our HR risk manager, to present this information. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Mayor, members of council. Due to the COVID-19 impact this year, a great deal of our staff have not been able to take vacation and time off as we normally would due to the CDC and VDH guidelines that inhibited travel. So what we're asking is that the vacation time that has exceeded the limits that are built into the handbook be extended to be able to be used through June 30th of 2021. And during that time, we will continue to work on the potential of converting to a PTO system as well. So it would be serve two purposes.
Okay. Thank you, Donna. We appreciate that. Council, you have any questions or comments? Nope. Okay, well, Donna, thank you very much. We appreciate that. So Pete,
Thank you,
back to
Donna.
you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Have two items requiring action this evening, the first of which I will take. And I have before you this evening a request to unfreeze a number of positions. If you recall back in June of this year, earlier this year, we amended the budget with fears that our revenues were going to be impacted due to the COVID pandemic. And so our recommended budget, which you approved, included freezing of a number of positions. Our promise to you is that we would monitor those revenues as the new year came to be and would come back to you at a future date with a recommendation on when we could start releasing some funds that we previously withheld for this operating year. So I have specifically 5 requests of you this evening. The first of which is to unfreeze the utility service operator position. And we're going to reclassify this to a financial analyst within the finance office. The second one is we're going to reclassify the senior financial analyst into an assistant finance director position. This will create some needed hierarchy and backup for the finance office, and actually really get us back to the framework that we had several town managers ago in the finance office. The third request is to unfreeze the equipment operator 1 position and reclassify to a project manager. I have discussed this with each of you, and this position we feel like is a needed add into the Public Works Office to oversee capital.
In the finance office.
General.
The third request is to
VDOT and other grant-related projects. The next one is to unfreeze a certified police officer position, and we're going to reclassify that to a lieutenant position, which would help meet the objectives of our new chief of police and his restructuring and organization that he would like to oversee. And then the final position is to unfreeze the assistant town manager position, and we will use those funds to backfill for some public works separation pay and hire the new public works director position. There are quite a bit of details in your agenda packet on how we plan to fund this. I won't go into those specific details. Ann has done a wonderful job of describing that for you, but I'll be happy to address any questions that you have about these unfreezing and reclassifications of positions.
Okay, council, you have any questions or comments?
No, I don't have any. I have a comment, Mayor. No questions. Probably would have had a lot of questions had it not have been for the in-depth detail that Pete and Ann had set up and met with us individually and described this transition. So just for the public, no questions, because we are all very understandable of what Pete and them want to do. So, and thanks for those meetings, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and Councilman Lyles, I appreciate you mentioning that, because as you folks know, I very often mention that if the public is watching and say, wow, that just went through with no question or comment, that's because by the time things reach council for a vote, we've been briefed on it, and as Keith just mentioned, many times have one-on-one meetings for in-depth explanations. So thanks, Pete, for mentioning that. That's a very important point. Yeah. Any other comments, questions? No? All right. If not, we will entertain a motion concerning the information, the resolution that Pete just described.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I have a motion by Council Member Stovall. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Council Member Mullins. Susan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. All right, resolution passes. So I think our next item will be handled by Ann, I think.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, members of council. It's great to see you all this evening. One of the items we wanted to bring before you tonight was the National League of City Residential Water and Sewer Service Line Program. We had actually brought before you the LOSS program as well, but after some discussions between the companies and between us as staff and council, we are recommending that we move forward with the service line program only, and that we just continue to analyze the water loss protection program during future rate increases or budgets where we could afford to absorb. So if we would like to move forward with this program this evening, and this is specifically for the water, sewer, and interior plumbing options for our customers, council needs to approve the program or the marketing agreement that was sent to each of you, and also allow the town manager to execute that agreement. One thing I did want to note is this program allows customers to opt in. So it's a direct mailing to the customers. We are authorizing them to use the town logo. They have to select what coverage they would like and then what time period they would like covered. They can opt in and out at any time. And then they mail it back and it's directly billed from the company. And when they have a claim, they have a phone number that's 24/7. They can call the company and then that company actually sends the repairman out to do whether it's a sewer line or water line or an interior plumbing repair. So happy to answer any questions. I know Jeremy was great getting this reviewed very quickly for us. So I just want to say thank you to him too.
All right. Thank you, Ann, very much. Here again, this is something that council has seen several times and been discussed quite a bit. But council, are there any more questions or any comments at this point?
No, I'm glad we all came to on the same page on this and no automatic opting and stuff like that. So it just makes better sense for the citizens.
You bet. So, and I didn't catch all that, Keith. Did you make a motion concerning that?
I did not, but I will make a motion, Mayor.
I appreciate that. So
Sure.
I take it. So I think Keith's made a motion for approval. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I believe that was the vice mayor. Susan, please call roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. Thank you very much, council. Pete, back to you, buddy.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess I just have a couple of quick comments, if you wouldn't mind. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Fabricio Drummond as our new chief of police. I look forward to working with him in that capacity. And quite excited for him. He's already made quite the impact down on the PD in just a short time as interim. So I think he'll do wonderful work in the PD and keep our citizens and visitors safe. Second of all, I'd like to thank council for the confidence in appointing me as your new town manager. It's quite the honor. I have a difficult time expressing my words sometimes, and this is going to be one of them. But I do appreciate that opportunity, and I look forward to accomplishing great things with you and my fellow coworkers. I want to thank my family for their support to get me to this point, and my current coworkers for all your support these last several months in my first 5 years here with the town, and all of my previous coworkers. All those friendships that I continue to maintain and those learning experiences, both the good and the bad, along the way have hopefully prepared me for this next step. So again, I just appreciate all the confidence in making this appointment, and I'll do my best. Thank you much.
Thank you, sir. Is that anything else this evening, Pete, or is that it?
I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay, that's a good place to leave.
I do have the next item up, so I will proceed into that, and that is a report from our Public Works Committee. We have had some leadership change in the Public Works Department, and we were without Bo for the last Public Works Committee, so I attempted to fill in that capacity the best that I could. We had a pretty full agenda. And Vice Mayor McCarty and Council Member Lyles are the council representatives on that committee. And we have committed to meeting on a bi-monthly basis so that we can stay on top of items and citizens' requests and things that we need to attend to from our good employees at the Public Works Office. So I'll just give a brief highlight of some of the items that we discussed. And if you have any specific questions about any of these items, please feel free to ask. And that goes for the two council members who also serve. But I'll mention some of the updates briefly. The first item was an update on the Walnut Avenue Bike and Ped Improvement Project. This is a VDOT funded project that extends from the city limits on Wise Avenue proceeds up Walnut along Cargill, formerly Southern States, Viking Fence, and Oliveros Market, and we'll go up to the 5th Street Bridge. And so this project, we have, I think we're at about 60, maybe 70% design of this project. So I just provided the committee members with an update of where we were in the stage of design, and that we have met with the affected property owners and to discuss, get their feedback on the improvements, as well as start to begin the process of acquisition of right-of-way, because there is a small portion of right-of-way needed from these private property owners to accomplish the improvements we're attempting to make. So all that's proceeding well, but otherwise, we'll have another series of updates. We'll negotiate some acquisition with the property owners, and eventually we'll hopefully early summer perhaps go to bid for construction. The second item was an update on Glade Creek Greenway Phase 2. The focus of this update was primarily on the sewer realignment. We had a little bit of a delay in the project because a portion of our sewer line, interceptor line, was exposed due to some erosion. No damage to the pipe, but we felt like in the best interest of moving the project forward for the Greenway, as well as protect our sewer line from future high water events, we would relocate that line several feet off the creek bank. And so we hired a contractor, and we had several delays, and I won't go into all those details, but we did finally get the project accomplished, and it was completed, and we've then since proceeded to move forward with the Greenway construction itself. The third item was the paving schedule for fall of 2020. Bo did a wonderful job of bidding this project out with the help of some folks in the finance office. But we got a really good rate on our bid this year, and we're able to accomplish more paving than we originally anticipated. So I thought, the different reach that we were able to meet for the Vinton residents was a pretty remarkable. And I believe they're if they're not done, they're very, very close to being done. So that's been a couple of weeks in the works, but all accounts are that things went well. The next item was the 2nd Street traffic study. As you recall, this has been an ongoing conversation with our Highway and Public Safety Committee, and a number of internal meetings with both residents and internal staff. And we hired a consultant to study this corridor. This is a truck route for us that connects Virginia to Walnut. The consultant provided that study. The police department conducted some own internal speed analysis along 2nd Street and 3rd Street. And we've come up with a recommendation to make some improvements to the site. And we hope that we've already actually implemented several of them, including a couple additional speed limit signs. We have striped the double center line. But all indications are there really isn't much of a problem there, particularly in speeding. The traffic analysis that Chief Drummond oversaw and the Mattern and Craig, our consultant, performed for us indicates that the vast majority of the traffic in that corridor honors the speed limit and maintains pretty safe practices. There are a few outlying occurrences, as there would be on any public right-of-way, but by and large, it's a safe street, particularly considering that it is a truck route for us. The next item was Roanoke Valley Resource Authority. There were some updates provided from the Board of Directors for the Resource Authority on their transition or analysis of potential transition to rail versus truck. So those final outcomes have yet to be determined, but they are doing adequate analysis, and we anticipate a future recommendation from their Board of Directors in the very near future. Then the second to last item was the town has considered updating a right-of-way mowing ordinance for several years. So I briefed the committee on the impacts of that ordinance, and due to some staff changes within the Public Works Office and timing of how we would need to release this ordinance, we have decided to pause on that ordinance. It's been in the current configuration for quite some time, so there's no harm in taking some time to make sure we get up to fully staffed. We can truly analyze this and make sure that we're addressing the issues adequately, and we're communicating those to our citizens before we roll something of this significant out. So we'll get back to council in a future meeting to update you on that status, but we're going to pause on that project for now. And last but not least, we discussed some refuse and bulk collection operational tweaks that we plan to make. So we've been meeting with our service delivery staff within the refuse and bulk collection. They've provided some great feedback on our fairly recent ordinance updates on the carts and our new truck and the way we collect refuse in the town. But we do feel like it is necessary to make some internal adjustments to that to better provide some services to our residents. And really, the ultimate goal is to keep the town looking good. And so I think if we make some internal adjustments, we can meet that goal and also provide an excellent service to our residents. So you can look forward to some updates on that in future Public Works and council meetings. And I believe that is all that we discussed that evening. The two members that serve on that, if you have anything to add or questions, I'll be happy to try to address them.
Good presentation.
We had a busy meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was a good meeting.
It was.
Good.
Yeah, Bo was in his new office that day.
Yeah.
He had an office at Carillion. And joined the
Sound
office.
effects.
Mo, they're not going to cut you any slack, man. I think that's for sure. All right, Pete, thank you very much. It does sound like it was a meeting that where you guys accomplished a lot, certainly discussed a lot. Okay, council, as you can see, we do have to make one appointment for tonight, and that's to the Roanoke Regional Partnership. And of course, typically that's the town manager attends that meeting. And so we would want to appoint Pete to the Roanoke Regional Partnership. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mayor, to appoint Pete and just go ahead and have him start working immediately.
Go. Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Lyles. Is there a second?
I'll second because he needs another hat to wear.
Right.
Yeah, right. Like you needed another one, right? Okay, the second was from Councilmember Mullins. Do we do just a voice vote on this?
That'll be
Susan?
fine.
All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, those opposed, same sign. Thank you, folks, very much. Just wanted to make a few comments tonight. First of all, we certainly want to congratulate both of the gentlemen who were appointed to their positions tonight. I think we're very, very fortunate in both cases. It's obvious that Pete's going to be a great town manager. He's already accomplished a lot, and you know, he has great qualifications, education, natural talent, and all that. And I really appreciate working with Pete and the kind of small town demeanor that he has. Pete's he already has fit in well with our staff and our town. And of course, many of our citizens know him. Our business people certainly recognize his talent and appreciate his ability to deliver on promises. So I've been very impressed with the work that Pete has done. But the most important thing to me is there's no doubt that he genuinely loves this town and cares for the citizens. So I just think that we're going to have a great town manager, and I look forward to working with Pete. And much of the same applies with Chief Drummond. You know, he had obviously a lot of qualifications, and I was thrilled that again we could find someone within our own ranks. He has all the training and education that's needed for this position. And anyone that, in my opinion, that's ever dealt with Chief Drummond understands his outstanding leadership and command abilities. But what a lot of people may not know, and one of the things I think really came out in the interview was the kind of heart that this guy has. I think for just everybody, all of his human, brothers and sisters, and I think that's very, very important in his job, and I think he's going to elevate a department that's always been very well respected and certainly very highly thought of by our citizens. I think it's going to be elevated to an even higher level of service. There is one other comment I'd like to make along those same lines. We have found ourselves as a town and a council, a rather unique position in that we're replacing two staff members that are definitely in important leadership leadership roles. Those roles are so important. It really could have been a almost overwhelming job, but in our case, it wasn't. I'd like to congratulate council for the way they approached both of those positions. Certainly it was done with a lot of prayer and consideration. But one big advantage we had is that we had highly qualified people on our own staff. The town has been very fortunate in the past several years to be able to attract really talented people. And so we had the opportunity to promote within. We did not necessarily have to do that. We did that because those were the most qualified people. So I'm very thrilled that we could do that. But that kind of stuff doesn't just happen. That situation came about because there was some good planning and some good training. And I would like to particularly recognize some of our former leaders, Barry Thompson and Chief Tom Foster. That's two gentlemen that believe in a strong line of succession, and they understand that peer training and thorough training is really essential to these seamless transitions that we always go through. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank both of those guys. They served our town well, and I just appreciate them for training our two gentlemen that have assumed the new positions. So hope God blesses them both. I'm sure he will. Susan, I want to thank you. Susan and I, and along with Pete and Susan and I have a meeting every week, but Susan and I also got together on how the agenda should be put together as late as today, and it really helps me a lot. So Susan, I certainly appreciate that. And council, again, I'd like to congratulate you folks. I think you've done a good job in the hiring process. So you guys are doing a great job. There's no doubt about it. And I certainly enjoy working with you. One last thing, guys, it's been hard. It's been hard for some of our folks in the community to celebrate, but we've had a lot to celebrate actually as a town. Certainly a lot of awards coming our way in economic development. So in that frame of mind and considering it's the Christmas season, typically we wear our bow ties for the Christmas meeting. So if you guys want to do that, I'm sure that Mike will have one left over from his health uniform. So that's something we typically do if you guys want to do that. So, and with that, we will turn it over to town council for any further comment. Vice Mayor, we will start with you tonight.
Yes, thank you. I'll just echo, what you have said about the two gentlemen that have been appointed to new positions tonight. I will just reiterate what I said earlier in regards to Pete and his desire to see Benton grow and just be a wonderful place to live and work and play. He is truly an advocate for our area, and he does such an awesome job, has a great personality, positive. So we are very fortunate there. We are also extremely fortunate with Chief Drummond. During our time that we were able to meet with the chief and get to know him better, I echo what the mayor said. He has a huge heart. He is a great guy. He has the respect of the police department already, and is just eager to get moving with his position. And I can't wait to see, what all he's going to accomplish there. I feel very confident, very safe, and happy to be a Benton resident with these two gentlemen in these positions. I do, again, want to say hats off to the folks that were here prior to, Barry Thompson and Chief Foster. When you have somebody ready to step into that position, that means that you truly do care about what you do, because you want the people that are going to take that position once you leave to be able to continue on with the seeds that you had planted. And so I hope that you two gentlemen take that to heart as well, and train your folks as you go, and to teach and help them to have that same desire for the town as you do. We are very lucky. We're very blessed, and I'm so glad that this transaction took place so quickly, and we really didn't have to have a lot of time to, meet different people. We already knew exactly who needed to fill those positions. So thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you to, of course, staff, and to the town council members and the mayor for allowing us to be able to be such a big part of it, and, to show our acceptance and concerns and anything that we have. So thank you guys, and I look forward to next year.
You bet. You bet. Okay, thank you, Vice Mayor. Appreciate those comments. Okay, Councilmember Lyles, anything further this evening?
Well, I think you and Sabrina really summed it up pretty well about our chief and our town manager. I would agree with everything that you guys said. Also about the succession planning. That's a huge part of how you keep the town going with the seeds that Sabrina was talking about. And I have a confidence that these two gentlemen will continue sowing those seeds and putting down some more new seeds in their roles with our town. With that, I don't really have anything else other than I hear that we're going to do the elves in the Santa crawl. And I'll just say, it is just a week after Thanksgiving. So Stovall, when you go to tie that bow tie, you might want to take it out one notch. And
At least one.
One, probably one, possibly two. So if you need any help, let me know.
All right. Thank you.
I will, I promise.
Lori, we'll move on to you. Maybe you can get us out of trouble here.
Oh, don't leave that job to me. Along the lines of what you said though, Mayor, and the staff makes it easy. Our town staff is always the best. And so they make our jobs easy, but also I feel like my fellow council members are prepared, and we're prepared by that staff. So we make these agendas go by quickly. The actions, we know what we're doing because we've been briefed and we know what's happening. And I appreciate our staff, and I'm excited for the awards they're getting for every different department. I think that's wonderful. And I too agree with everything you guys already said about Pete and Chief. It's very exciting, and looking forward to working with them in the future. And I also need to say, don't forget to shop local for Christmas. Benton has some great little shops, and they're open, and restaurants are doing what we can for now. So So everybody support our town businesses because they are a great place to be.
You bet, you bet. Well said. Thank you very much. And with that, we will move to Elf Stovall.
You know, I was telling Councilmember Mullins today, I would have never thought in my wildest dreams when I got elected to Benton Town Council that I would be sitting in my desk looking up how an elf is supposed to dress. I really don't know, but you know, I appreciate Councilmember Lyles commenting on my physique to the fact of as far as my bow tie is concerned. And I look forward to next Tuesday. I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, but I do look forward to that. I echo everything that y'all said, every single one of you about Pete or Mr. Peters and Chief Drummond. But, you know, as a council member, I just want to say to the two of you, thank you. You know, there's a lot of different approaches you could have taken in life, a lot of different things you could have done. You know, you saw something in Benton and you came in here and grabbed your positions by the horns and have really made this town what it is today. I agree 100% with Councilmember McCarty when she said that, you know, you did make it easy. And it's tough. I mean, this day and time, being the CEO of a company like the town of Benton, town manager, but secondly, it's tough to want to take on a police chief's job with all the things going on now. So I think both of y'all for that. And then, and I echo too, Mayor, what you said about the fact of being blessed. You know, we're truly blessed, even though with the COVID and what we came through with Thanksgiving, you know, looking forward to Christmas. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are suffering, but we're truly blessed. And then I just want to say, you know, how grateful I am to serve with every one of you, of course, on town council and with the staff. You know, we've got a great organization. I mean, we really do. And we're top notch. You know, I know that people complain, you know, and I know it's trash and water and those kind of things. But, you know, we've got a great town. We've got a great staff and we do a whole lot. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate those comments. We all appreciate those comments, as a matter of fact. So is there anything else to come before council this afternoon, this evening, tonight, whatever? If not,
Mr.
we
Mayor,
will.
if I may.
Yes. I'm sorry, did I hear
Sir?
something? Yep.
Yes, sir.
The
for
chief
me.
has spoken.
For me, it's hard to chime in on a virtual call. But I just wanted to like to thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council for the confidence you all have shown in me by appointing me the Chief of Police. I've been a part of this department for over a decade, and I have nothing but gratitude, nothing but love for the town of Vinton. It's a prestigious position, and I thank you all for the confidence you've shown in me. I thank you, as you mentioned, to now Marshal Tom Foster for the confidence that he showed in me in his succession plan. I thank you to my law enforcement family, of course. My success will only be built on their success and their belief in me. And to my loving wife, of course, and my family for their sacrifice. This is a profession that requires a lot of it. And they've given me nothing but sacrifice and room to grow. It is an honor to serve such a highly respected agency, a magnificent town, and residents that believe in our community. So I thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, anything else to come before council? Well, thank you, folks, for a great meeting. If there's nothing further, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Everyone wants to hang around. Is there a second?
I'll second.
say. Oh.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you, folks. Good night.
Hey,
Thank you for driving home.
All right.
Good night.